Hello, brilliant minds and curious souls. Welcome back to Universal Consciousness. Today, we're diving into a topic that's going to bend your perception of reality a little bit: the observer effect. Now, before you click away thinking this is some super dense physics lecture, stick with me. We're going to explore this concept in a way that's both mind-blowing and relatable. So what exactly is the observer effect? In its simplest form, it's the idea that the act of observing a phenomenon inevitably changes that phenomenon. It's like trying to measure the air pressure of a balloon. The very act of putting the gauge on the balloon changes its pressure slightly. Have you ever wondered if just by watching something, you're changing it? This isn't just a spiritual idea, it's also a scientific one. Welcome to the observer effect, where physics and consciousness meet. Now you might be thinking, okay, that makes sense for balloons and gauges, but how does this get mind-blowing? It is a creative force. You are not separate from the universe. You are a co-participant in its unfolding. At the subatomic level, particles like electrons don't behave like tiny little billiard balls. Instead, they exist in a kind of probabilistic cloud, a superposition of all possible states. They don't have a definite position or momentum until we measure them. And here's where it gets wild. The act of measurement, the act of observing, forces that particle to choose a state. It's important to remember that this effect is primarily observed at the quantum level. We don't see everyday objects suddenly changing just because we look at them. Your coffee cup isn't going to morph into a teacup just because you're observing it. But the observer effect has profound philosophical implications. It challenges our classical understanding of reality. It suggests that reality isn't just out there, waiting to be discovered, but that our interaction with it, our very act of observation, plays a role in shaping it. Think about it. In science, it highlights the challenges of objectivity. Can a scientist ever be truly separate from the experiment they are conducting? In our daily lives, while not a direct quantum effect, there's a subtle parallel. How often do we change our behavior when we know we're being watched? Think about how you act differently on camera versus when you're alone. The observer in this case is a social one, but the principle of altered behavior due to observation is there. In self-awareness, the act of observing our own thoughts and feelings can actually change them. When you consciously reflect on an emotion, it often loses some of its power or intensity. So what do we need to know? You are never powerless. It's a beautiful, humbling, and utterly fascinating